don't think I do it
But
good.
Arsenal
No, I
started
think
like
I
a
do
house
it
on
good.
fire.
They would do it if they
Signing
could.
number
No,
2
do it so
for this
they
new
could.
era.
Ain't in any rush, 'cause I'm finally getting
It's Judgment Day, people.
self-made, yeah.
Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe football show, the Just Joe late show. It's late at night, so I didn't want to hammer your eardrums with my scream at this ungodly hour. I hope you are all doing well. What's going down? What's going down? Smash a like on the video before we get started. Subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell and all that jazz. Right, okay, what's going on with Leeds United? What's actually going on? I do not know. I had planned to come live earlier on, and then I put my son to sleep, and I fell asleep with him. You know, one of them. And then I was like, "Oh man, what time is it?" And it's only like 10 or whatever. So yeah, I thought, do you know what? Let's still go live, because when I looked up, when I got up and I opened up my phone, who the fuck's Alfred Schreuder? And why is he hated so much? And why is he now linked to Leeds United and has been backed into odds on? Of course, he's now the favourite now, according to the bookies. That doesn't necessarily mean Leeds United are linked, but the last time this happened, and Slot was the one that came out of nowhere that wasn't on a list, then as hit, and we know that Leeds were serious about it. So there's no smoke without fire. But this Schreuder doesn't have a great rep. We've seen Steven Gerrard putting himself forward for the job. We've seen Nuno Espirito Santo carry a bit of weight, having been spoken about by Phil Hay on the Phil Hay show. And apparently Iraola's still there for Leeds United. Just don't know, do we? I still stand by them sacking Jesse. I see a few people saying, "Oh, they should have had someone in line first," and that guy just needed to get out of the football club because he was just a bad apple. It would seem. My only frustration is I was saying it months before. I just wish the club had the same outlook as us, and it turns out the 49ers did. The 49ers did. By all accounts, it was Victor, and I've always been a big supporter of Victor. But from what you read, Victor was the one that wanted him in as long as he did. And I know there's still people in the chat, and Detaily definitely is one of them, that has always called out this man, and I've been a staunch supporter of his. But I feel like he's massively culpable for the situation that we're in. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we, what the situation is there. But it's not going well for Leeds at the minute in terms of the manager search. There's also apparently there was fallouts between the 49ers and Radz's arm, if you like, in terms of like Victor and stuff over the Rutter deal and stuff, whether or not the 49ers were as big on it as what Victor was. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. We will go through the latest news. But yeah, I agree with you, D. The issue that we find ourselves in now is due to the delay in sacking Jesse. It should have been done well before, but he saved his job with the Liverpool Bournemouth result. Do you know what makes me laugh as well? I've got people trying to call me out on social media for being negative, which yous know that normally I'm not, but the previous manager drove me to that, and I'm still in that negative slump because I'm starting to get worried about the league table now as well, because teams are getting results above us, and I put a tweet out earlier on to say we're getting cut adrift. Now, I don't mean in terms of us being in a relegation zone, although for parts of this Sunday we were, when Bournemouth went 1-0 up against Newcastle. It's more a case of the chasing pack. We're getting cut adrift. Leicester getting results. Wolves getting results. Aston Villa play tomorrow. I think they'll get beat. They're not out of it, but I don't see them really being getting relegated, but Leicester getting results, West Ham getting a draw against Chelsea. I feel that it's the gap is opening, and I feel that it's between us and Everton at this point as to who goes down with Bournemouth and Southampton. But Southampton are probably going to make a change, and it'll be interesting to see if they take as long as we do to employ a manager. I think at this stage, and I've said it for quite a while, do we just need to get someone in who's going to make us defensively resolute until the end of the season? George says people fail to see that Marsh saved us from relegation in spite of him, but what that doesn't. I think they stayed up in spite of him. I beg you to watch that Brentford game again. Brentford were the better side with 9 fecking men on the pitch. If you watch my watch along, you'll remember it. And I said he's going to throw it away. And then you want to give around the FA Cup. What? I've seen some people actually say that. Oh, not bad, is he really? 5th round at FA Cup. Played Accrington Stanley in Cardiff. Let's be realistic. Accrington Stanley in Cardiff. I don't get your point. George, I'm going to say something now. So, you said I was mad for suggesting that getting a point away at Old Trafford was a good result because we threw away a 2-goal lead. Yet you're sat there trying to defend Jesse for winning 2 games in 17. He got us to the fifth round of the FA Cup is bogus, man. It is such a lame argument. He beat Accrington and Cardiff. Now, not only that, Accrington Stanley are a League One side that were not scoring goals. We conceded against them. And if their centre-back, who's a Leeds United fan, could finish, they'd have probably been in front. As for the Cardiff one, again, they scored it took a replay. Took a replay as well. Let's not forget that fact. So, what do you mean people fail to see? This season has been nothing but diabolical. Little moments, but it never really got kick-started. So, I don't know how you can sit there and defend it. I've said this to people and I'll continue to say it as well. People come for me for being negative. I go straight on the Twitter and I search Jesse. If I see any sort of Jesse propaganda within that last month, then you're not even worth talking to. And that's what I believe. Don't come for me for being negative right now when you want to sit there and try to defend something that you defended 2 weeks ago. I still can't get my head around why it took the Nottingham Forest results for people to say go. I still can't get it. So that's all I will be doing and have been doing since this day forth. Like anyone comes, straight search. All right, okay, you said Jesse was decent before Forest, get in the bin on your bike. Because it's madness. Now, don't Norbo says I don't want Nuno. I think we're at a stage where we have to accept the fact that might happen. I would even suggest Rafa. I know he hasn't been linked, but I'd rather Rafa than Nuno. But Nuno, there seems to be a lot more credibility around it because Nuno was mentioned in the Phil Hay article and on the Phil Hay podcast. There seems to be validity to the discussion about Nuno. But Ratty says, I'm being serious, 100% bring Marsh back. No, you're not. You're lying. No, you're lying. So, yeah, I don't know what we do. What we don't want to do is appoint this Alfred Schreuder because by all accounts, having spoken with Oscar, he's not well liked. He was a coach at Barcelona under Ronald Koeman. Got a lot of stick while he was there. I think he was at Club Brugge for a period of time and did well at Club Brugge, which probably got him his move to Ajax. But his move to Ajax went brutal, went really, really bad. My good friend Ash, Juan Martinez, released a picture and said, look, this isn't the appointment we need, and you can just have a look at his most recent appointment. This was it towards the end for his time at Ajax. So you can just see there, Schreuder out, Schreuder out, Schreuder out. So let's hope this is just due to crazy betting patterns. But yeah, his tenure at Ajax did not go well. I think he ended like a 7-game winless run or something like that, which, by the way, we did, and we still backed our man, by the way. Or some of you did, I don't know. Listen, Mick T, people laughed at me for suggesting Michael Carrick when they were looking for names, but Michael Carrick's doing a fantastic job at Middlesbrough. I don't even care about the Manchester United links. He's doing a fantastic job, but look, we've seen ex-players do good jobs elsewhere, and that brings me on to Steven Gerrard, because I backed Steven Gerrard prior to his move to Aston Villa because he did so well at Rangers. I knew the club were pretty big on him, and I remember saying at the time I was disappointed that he got to Villa because I wouldn't have minded him succeeding Bielsa. Now, obviously, that went tits up. Now, people will go wild on me here, but I think it's the emotional, romantic kind of guy in me that I always sort of liked that appointment, because I thought Gerrard as a player, he would sort of, he would do well as a manager at Leeds United. I always had this belief. But obviously his ill-fated attempts at Premier League management went absolutely brutal. So no one's going to sign off on it. And I think a lot of fans wouldn't sign off on that. But we'll talk about Gerrard in some more detail now. Losing manager replaced with a losing manager, WTF. This is the thing, D, didn't it? It didn't really go well. It did not really go well. And like John H says, without Michael Beale, he sort of went to pieces a little bit. But of course, Steven Gerrard's been talking, and it's been put out there that he would be interested in taking the job. Of course he would. Of course he would. He'd love to get straight back into work. I think just on Steven Gerrard, it won't go down well just because of his ill-fated time at Aston Villa. No, but Jonathan, he may have. He's still at QPR now. Is he not doing well? But that's what a lot of people made the assumption that was due to him obviously separating with Gerrard, and that's why Gerrard didn't do well. But I'm not advocating he's signing at this point. But like I say, he's one that's put his name in the hat, and that's probably as well due to the fact that he would have been aware that Leeds United were previously interested in him. Because we know Victor speaks to managers for a long time before he actually makes the move, etc. And it was well documented that Leeds did like what Gerrard was doing at Rangers. A lot of clubs clearly did, because look, Aston Villa, look what they did. They brought him in and backed him heavily, like with the signing of Coutinho and stuff like that. So he did have a good standing prior to his move to Villa, but it just went tits up. But yeah, is Michael Carrick at Middlesbrough probably better placed in terms of actually seeing whether or not he can do it in the Premier League when you're doing it in the Championship, as opposed to the Scottish First Division, because everyone always says, don't they? But this is the thing. Everyone would love Postecoglou at Celtic. Everyone's banging that drum. Everyone's not adverse to that. But it's a similar sort of argument. It's Celtic. The majority of managers can do well in Scotland, by all accounts, as anyone says. But it's frustrating. Someone's mentioned Raz there. I don't know what in what context, but he's had a nightmare, hasn't he? He's had an absolute nightmare. It's made it look stupid again. Speaking to Matt Hayes, and Matt's saying, like, what's he doing? Someone needs to take his phone off him. How can anyone know who the next manager is when clearly Rads doesn't know? Because it was only fucking Tuesday or what day it was now, that we were going to get a manager within 24 hours. And again, I took stick for that, for suggesting it was Corberan, but you can look back now and see it was. Finn says, you all right, Joe? Seem a bit down. I'm tired, bro, but I'm not down. I'm just pissed off. But it's not even a case of not angry. I'm disappointed. That's the stage that I'm at. I'm disappointed because I don't know what we do. And it also coupled with the fact I'm worried about relegation. And a lot of people say, oh, it's too soon. And I sort of agree with that. But it wasn't until today, because you ask the group chat, like Matt Locks and that, yesterday, I was bullish. I was really, really bullish, saying that we get a decent manager in the door. At this point, I'm still confident of Ireola or someone like that. We get a decent manager in the door, we're going to be sound. Then Saturday's happened and Leicester have got a result. Spank Spurs. Wolves have got a result, having been 1-0 down with 10 men. We've got Man United, and then I'm like, we still haven't got a manager in the door. Do you have any confidence that we'll have a decent manager by Monday, which gives that person a little under a week to get their foot in the door and get the team ready for Everton? That Everton game's massive, massive. Because if we do win that and then follow it up with a win against Southampton, that's like proper relegation 6-pointers right there. But at this moment in time, Saturday evening, are you confident that the club are going to get it right? I'm not. And maybe part of that is due to the fact that Radrazani's come out when he did. I mean, if he keeps his mouth shut, we're still all in the dark. But because we know, because of the way he's responded, that we're going for managers and failing. We're going for managers and failing. And then all of a sudden, Alfred Schreuder, whatever his name is, who was Ajax manager, who got absolutely ghosted out of there, did well at Club Bruges, but didn't have a great rep while he was at Barca as Coleman's coach either. That's not the appointment we need, is it? That's not the appointment we need. And like someone said earlier, you don't want to replace a loser, bringing in another loser. Colin says, Iraola, give him 20 million in a shoebox tonight. He gets 10 up front and 10 if he keeps us up. I think Iraola can be solved with cash. So I don't think Iraola's that type of guy, but I know what you mean, Colin. Leeds United haven't given up the ghost on Iraola. I think they were maybe looking at other options due to the issues they were finding with regards to the owner of Rayo Vallecano, who apparently is a bit of a madman by all accounts, maybe Chileno-esque, and they're struggling to agree a deal. Again, it's the way it's structured over in Spain. The manager has to pay their release clause, and if he's unwilling to pay it or they're unwilling to accept it, I don't know how it works, man. Seems a bit mad. You'd think Leeds United could just go to Iraola and goes, there's 10 million in your bank account, you now go pay it. But I don't know whether the club have to willingly accept it. I'm not too sure. It's all seems a bit mad. But I hope a deal for Iraola can still be done. Jonathan, I mean, you can call it panic merchants, but again, it's difficult right now. I think, people that are just new to me could believe that I have this constant negative outlook, which isn't the case. I'm just being realistic where we are now, right now. People who've watched me regularly from day dot know this not to be true. Know that I am quite positive, but Jesse beat any positivity out of me. Do I think the squad's good enough to stay up? Yes, but we need to get our ducks in a row ASAP. If we don't, then we're in trouble. And when I put out earlier on saying that we're going to get cut adrift, or we're about to get cut adrift, it's more so the chasing part. We need to stay in and around there. We need to stay in and around Wolves. Now, if we get a result tomorrow, which I think we can, I do think we can, then I'll breathe a sigh of relief again. But it really is difficult, It really is difficult right now to see the wood through the trees. Robbie says Leeds will regret sacking Jesse. His football was not pretty, but it was going to keep Leeds up. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Juan says, my sources believe that Arne Slot felt bad. He rejected Leeds, so recommended Alfred Schreuder to Leeds. Right. Okay. Can we get something right here? What progress was there? The guy took us backwards. I don't care what you say. He took us backwards. We have gone backwards and spent more money. what progress? How can you see progress when you have won 2 games in 17? What progression is there? What do you mean still? Listen, if we go down this season, and I say this through gritted teeth because it makes me angry, because every time I talk to my friends, I get angry. Because I'll say the board and that clown, right? That clown, and that's what he is, a clown. If you don't like it, then tough shit. But the guy is a clown. It will be their fault that we go down. More so Victor for backing him as long as he did, but for keeping him and listening to that absolute drivel that he came out with week in, week out. The tactical ineptness of the man. I said this numerous times. Clowns. Cran. So this is what I'm saying. So you're not even a Leeds fan, are you? You're not even a Leeds fan. You're an American who's just backing your American brother, and I respect that. But stand back, be realistic, and listen to Leeds fans that will tell you, this guy took us backwards. So how can you come on here and say that you could? How do you even know there was clear progression? Because you weren't even here before Jesse came. You weren't even here before. Because the way that you're saying your management means you're all not a Leeds fan. You weren't even here. Well, Grandad, come on. Talk sports, he clearly is. He clearly is. You can keep coming. I said Leeds United stayed up in spite of Jesse, not because of him. Not because of him, in spite of him. The guy did his utmost best to make us worse. He played our best player at right wing back and had him on long throws. We nearly lost a game when we were down to 9 men. 9 men. Dial it back, watch it back. I'll tell you, we stayed up in spite of him, not because of him. And I still stand by that fact. And I still stand by that fact. Juan, don't even. Yeah, this is a point as well. Big up to Callum Wilson. Yeah. Yes, Caden. Caden knows. But Ishita, he had only just bought. Let's be real here as well. He suggested Voba, but McKennie, Nonto, Rutter, they were club signings. And when you can look at it objectively and see, I'm going to come to your comment, Luke. Don't worry. So what was even the club were wanting to sack him before the World Cup. You know, there was noise of it. They wanted to get rid of him a lot sooner. But you know, see, this is not true either as well. Vitalo Delgado. It's not true. You know, they're professional footballers. They know what they're doing. Just on this as well, we wouldn't have gone down. People will still disagree with me on that, but we wouldn't have gone down. The guy never lost against teams in the bottom 6, ever. And that was Jesse's problem. We couldn't beat the teams in and around us. We could play well against better opposition. But the teams in and around us that sit in a low to mid block, Leeds United had no answers. No answers. Bielsa had all the answers. We were getting battered by the better teams because they had better quality and were able to open us up at will. You know, I feel that if Bielsa hadn't had that month with them games altogether and it was more spread out across the course of the season, would have been fine. You can disagree with me. That's fine. But he never lost to a team in the bottom 6 ever. And we'd have stayed up under Bielsa, but it is what it is. The club made the change, but no, Kingy. You have to look at the games that we played, and also the squad that he had available to him as well at that point. But we'll move on from that anyway, from both of them, because they're both not here anymore. So it is what it is. Let's talk about the current managers. If you believe that, Archie, then what I would say in response to that is when Bielsa left, there was an outcry from all the players thanking him. Not one player has messaged about Jesse. Not one. Read into that what you will, but I think I look at them two situations and go, yeah, I think more so probably Jesse lost it more so. Yeah, again, it doesn't matter, does it? Because you still get 0 points. So again, like I said, against better opposition, not great, but never lost against the bottom side. So yeah. It's irrelevant, the score at times, isn't it? Irrelevant. So it doesn't change your bloody points, does it? Right, okay. So Graham Smith's tweeted. Let's see what's been said. What's this? Exclusive. Varley Mason forgot to draw offside lines on Ivan Toney's equalising, a mistake that could have huge impact on Arsenal's title hopes. Christian Norgard was offside. Wow. See, they can't even get fucking VAR right. How brutal is that? How can you get computers wrong? Do you know what I mean? It's mad. It's mad. It really is. So yeah, like I say, let's move forward, not backwards. Sorry for getting into that. I just really, it just angers me when I speak about it, because we got rid of one of the best managers to ever be at the football club without backing him. Brought in a clown, backed him, and went backwards and backed him for far too long. So it is what it is. Bailey says Alfred Schreuder is now even money on Sky Bet. I don't know much about him. Like I say, it's that like new that when you actually check the latest news, Schreuder and Leeds United are on there. But just to give you sort of a snapshot into him, he only won twice in November in a desperately poor run, which meant that he got sacked. He went on a 7-match winless run in the Dutch league, leaving Ajax 5th, which of course, you know, when you're a top team in the top, who should be fighting at the top at the time, then that's disgraceful, really, isn't it? It was always going to be tough to follow Ten Hag, but it didn't go well for him there. Mohamed Kudus, just a day ago, the Ghanaian player, obviously scored in the Champions League, I think, didn't he? A couple when Ten Hag was there. Kudus, was that against Liverpool? I think maybe. He said he's enjoying life under new interim manager John Heitinger. Heitinger used to play football. Yeah, I don't know if it's that Heitinger though, but I definitely know a Heitinger off the top of my head. But he's come out and saying that listen, the previous manager was a nightmare, and I'm now enjoying my football again. So that doesn't make for great reading, does it? Really? So hopefully, Alfred Schreuder isn't the one. But like I say, it's been linked massively in the last 2 hours or so, would you say? Because he's gone massively in. I'm just going to have a look on Twitter now to see what's been said. A lot of people drinking bleach. Yeah, it was 2-1 earlier on. Yeah, it didn't go well for him, as I say. There was a dressing room revolt. So So it did not go well for him there. And as I say, Mohamed Kudus has come out and said a few bits about him as well. No, great. Doesn't make for great reading. I don't know if there's any of the journalists have got onto it as of yet. Like I say, this happened with Slot. Slot came out of nowhere, and then there was credibility to that. I would hope, seeing the response, that maybe the club are going, yeah, this is probably not the guy. Listen, Orta's under a lot of pressure. Orta is under massive pressure. The Mail Online. So I genuinely believe that no, the Phil here knows who's coming in. Apparently, they're just saying that tongue in cheek so that everyone batters his Twitter. That's all. That's all they're saying that for. If Phil here knew we were coming in, he would report it because it would do amazing for the Athletic. So he's not purposely keeping back information. Why would he do that? He's a journalist. His job is to get information and put it out there. They're saying that he knows who he is so that people batter his Twitter. So yeah. Detailing makes a good point about Victor not looking under pressure in arcades, riding them motorbikes. Don't know if you've seen the image, but yeah, he's got the same clothes on, it looks like. He looks quite dishevelled, yeah. Matt, what do you mean TSB verified it? What did they verify in their show with Moscow, Dan and Michael? They're saying it tongue-in-cheek, bro. They're saying batter him. Any news, Phil? He doesn't know. Why would he? Why? If he knew, why wouldn't he report it? Come on, man. It was tongue-in-cheek. It was a joke. It's clearly a joke so that people would go on over and batter him. Come on now. Why would Phil know and not report it? Do you know what I mean? Joe Wacko, who right on Rodrigo injury, are the ones that said it's on about Schreuder. Matt said no, it was in their chat that he knew, but wouldn't tell them. I'm in that chat, bro. I'm in that chat. It's not. The group chat is the square ball walkers thingy. It was a joke. It was a joke. Scott says, do you think the crowd will turn on the ball tomorrow? No. I think they're just grateful that he's gone. Had Jesse have stayed, then yes. But no. Schreuder is a guest of Manchester United tomorrow. A note to do with Leeds, says Mark Edison. Is he? Why? Why? Because he took over from Ten Hag. Like, do you know what as well? Someone said in the group chat, right? That group chat that you were talking about there. Let me just check something. Wait there. Someone said that they lumped money on him because they seen him in a hotel. Wait there. I'm letting you see behind the curtain here. Hang on. Sorry, I know this doesn't make for great reading because I just woke up to all this. I'm sorry about this, folks. I'll put some tunes on while I just find it. Right, okay. So apparently he's in the hotel. Apparently he's in the hotel at Fore Park. The hotel at Fore Park. Matt, it was a joke, bro. Promise you. Right, okay. And saw a message from someone that works there claiming him and his agent are checked in there. From that, one of the lads in our group chat requested odds for him being new manager. So it might just be betting, might it? Do you know what I mean? It might just be betting patterns. That Schreuder's in a hotel, and then someone's just said that apparently he's going to be a guest at the game. He's going to be a guest at the game. Where was he? Assistant with him? Was that? Where was Schreuder an assistant with him? I thought he was at Club Bruges. No. Let's have a look. Was that 18-19? Where was the assistant with him? Managerial. Because he was at Club Bruges from January to May. Unless he was, and I know he was assistant to Ronald Koeman at Barca. But who was manager of Ajax 18-19? Was that Ten Hag still? So, 18-19. Need to know 18-19. Who was the manager 18-19? Someone put it in the chat if they know. I'm just trying to find it now. Where's the managers? 18-19. Tell me who the manager of Ajax was in 18-19. Was it Ten Hag, Max? Was it Ten Hag? Right, okay. Right, okay. So, right, well, there you go then. That answers the questions then, doesn't it? That answers the questions. Or was it Hoffenheim, was it? Right, okay. So, okay, there you go. He got sacked at Hoffenheim too, yeah. Then he went to Club Bruges, then he went to Ajax. It didn't go well. So maybe it is just that then. Genuinely, maybe it is that. It is a case of him being in Leeds at a hotel. People have seen him checked in. Big money's gone on him. Yeah. Big money's gone on him. And then from that, it's just carried weight. Do you know what I mean? Got traction. So maybe there's nothing in Schreuder. Let's hope. Let's hope there isn't, because it's not been met with a good response. Maybe Schreuder is just going to be a guest at the game tomorrow for Man United, and that's about it. But know that if he is going to be a guest and he does turn up, people will be bricking it. Yeah, I think people will be bricking it, but maybe he'll be just a guess there. Let's hope. I think, look, Leeds United's number one choice still at this point is Iraola, from what you believe. From what you believe, Iraola seems to be the one that Leeds United want, and failing that, it may well be Nuno Espirito Santo. How does everyone feel about Nuno? The most recent update was 5 hours ago, and this is just, in regards to the reports from Phil Hay, who did the Phil Hay show. This is on Mock Leeds News. Now, it is just an aggregate. They just get their information from other places, of course, but apparently Nuno Espirito Santo is keen on a return to the Premier League. Of course he is. Like, why wouldn't you be? Obviously previously managed Wolves, did a good job there. Football was minging, but did a good job there. Had some top players. That side that went up from the Championship was unbelievable. He then went to Spurs, didn't go well there. But I think apparently he's under consideration, as Phil here reports, and it might get to the point, we've failed on Corberan and Slot. Vallecano and Iraola's causing a few problems just due to this release clause stuff. Nuno currently working at Saudi Arabia, I think Al Halil as well. Of course, he would welcome a return back. And this is what he wrote on The Athletic on the 11th of Feb. Former Wolverhampton Wanderers and Tottenham manager Espirito Santo is one of those under discussion. He may not be plan A or plan B or even C, but the options rapidly dwindling. There is an argument that the 49-year-old makes sense. And I think we are at that stage. We are getting to that stage because whatever happens, if Leeds United don't get, Iraola, it's getting to the stage that we need to get a manager in the door. We need to get a manager in the door. We can't rest on our laurels. We can't sit on Scubala. We just can't, folks, because knowing our luck, Scubala might get a result tomorrow. Everyone will bang the drum. The club will go, yeah, and then we'll get beat by Everton and Southampton. And we'll be like, what have we done? Do you know what I mean? I do really like Scubala, but I don't think Scubala wants it either. It's just a case he wants to just nestle back into his previous job. But I think we're at a stage where, for me, I would take a Rafa and I would take Nuno Espirito Santo. So yeah, I don't think any manager is close to being done. For those that are asking questions, it was more a case of saying it'll be done by next week, more hopeful than it actually having credibility. Look, at the end of the day, the owner of the football club told us all, loud and proud, that it'd either be tonight or tomorrow, a week ago, whenever it was, white smoke. Genuinely thought they had Corberan in the bag. You know what I mean? They thought they had Corberan in the bag. He signed a new deal. Then Iraola, issues there. So then they've moved on to Slot. And my worry is, like, I don't know what's this doing for Iraola. Is he thinking, I just don't know. This is what I mean. What is actually going on? Would I be happy with Nuno? Yeah, at this stage, not long term. But this is the problem you have. Nuno's not going to go, okay, yeah, I'm going to take it till end of season, and then what? Then what's he going to do? He wants assurances. What if he keeps us up and does well? He's not going to then go, right, okay, I'm happy to move on now. It's like, this job's mine. And I think we'll be like, well, you can't, like, it's so difficult, isn't it? To get a manager in who's going to be willing to do that. Then he's probably not going to be willing to do that. You know, why would Nuno say, all right, yeah, I'll just keep you up and then I'll be happy to do one? No, Danny, I don't either, bro. I don't. But stress it. But I always said this. I used to have these conversations. As a content creator, I was very lucky because I started it properly when we had Bielsa. I started it the season we got Bielsa. Well, it was just it was amazing, wasn't it? It was amazing. And then obviously since then it's been going from bad to worse. So it's it's just difficult right now. That's what I mean, Ishta. If Nuno keeps you up, you have to keep him, right? You have to keep him. You can't, and I don't know if he'd agree to 18 months, might want longer. I don't know if Rafa would. This is why I'm a little bit more inclined to say Rafa, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what we're going to do. What we're going to do, I just don't know. I just don't know what's next for Leeds. What's next is obviously Man United. But we our Leeds says give it Scoobs till end of season. We can't, man. We can't. As much as I've liked what he said, we cannot put our Premier League survival and how much money it's worth to the football club, how much it's worth to us as fans on Scubala. We just can't. You have to be realistic and be objective. You know me as well. I'm emotional. If we get a win tomorrow, I'll be in my post-match going, give it Scoobs. But in the cold light of day, where you sit back, you just can't run that risk. Yeah, like Dash says, he's managed one game. Ghost says, stop looking at managers in jobs. They're the ones that are decent, though, aren't they? For those that keep asking about Pochettino, that was never an option. Never an option. I dare say the club won't have even bothered contacting him. You read these reports that he's turned us down, etc. They know it's like Tuchel. Those that say Tuchel, we're Leeds United and we're 17th in the Premier League. They're never an option. Never an option. You have to be realistic. Where like we do with players, yeah, the likes of Willie and Yonto, Ilya Melier, Pascal Strout, players that have massive potential and on the up, yeah, massive potential and on the up. That's where we are swimming in regards to managers. Bielsa aside, that's what the club have tried to do, and they've got it massively wrong. Thomas Christensen worked for a little bit, then went tits up. He was another one that had managed in the Champions League. They were looking at a potential prospective coach. They then went for Heckingbottom. Job came too early for him. He's smashing it now at Sheffield United. You know, he did well at Barnsley before that. So they always look for them sort of up-and-coming coaches, right? Bielsa was the difference. Marcelo Bielsa was the difference, and he was the only one that went well. The rest have been terrible. Jesse the same, you know, put some poor jobs, but the club obviously believed that he could do it. Luis Enrique, Villa and Wolves got that calibre of manager in a similar position. You do have that, but Luis Enrique, yeah, that's a great argument, mate. That's a great argument to say, well, Villa and such did it. That is a fantastic argument, and I have no answers for you in that respect. So maybe we should be moving in them circles, but I just think Luis Enrique is for a top job. You know what I mean? Not a top job, but a top job. Yeah. The Argentinian guy Gallardo, I don't even think that's he'll want a full pre-season. I agree with Andrew Wigley. Yeah, I think at this point I'm with you, Paul Doc. Just give Rayo Vallecano whatever they want for Iraola and get Iraola done. I still believe that Iraola is the number one pick. I'm not sure on this Schreuder guy. Like, I think it's BS. I don't know. Someone check that. Yeah, Mike, I am. Yeah. What's your point? I think maybe it's just betting patterns that have caused him to go as as odds on or as number one pick as possible. I'm not sure. We need to face it. We won't get a good manager mid-season, says Dash. I'm not sure that that's true, because like someone's just mentioned, you know, you've got Unai Emery and Lopetegui going to Wolves and Aston Villa respectively. So I'm not sure. You can't get a manager good mid-season. You can, yeah. Owen, I know, right? Orta's out there in arcades while we're all shitting ourselves over who the next manager's going to be, and my man's just chilling out. This was Orta earlier on, just for anyone that hasn't seen it. Not that he's not allowed to have fun, but it just... we're all like there, and he's there, and he's Hugo Boschniks with same coat he's had on for about a week, playing Superbikes free. Enjoy, Victor. You know what I mean? Where even is he, man? At fucking Hollywood Bowl or something? What's going on? What's he doing? Oh, God. Yeah, Gaff will be out. Exactly. She's like, Victor, come on. Victor. We need to go home. That's where he is, bro. He's at Hollywood Bowl in Leeds. That's where he is, man. He's at Hollywood Bowl in Leeds, and where, yeah, it might be an airport. It's a good point. It might be an airport, Nicky. Could be, couldn't it? Could be. Oh, he's just mad. I don't think he's posted it. Someone spotted him and posted it. There's no way he's posting that. His missus looks fuming though, doesn't she? Big God. I don't know. Someone says, where is it? I don't know who took the. Maybe it is at an airport. We need to see him on one of them massage machines like that, don't we? Someone just said, I just saw Rads in Laser Quest. What they cooking? Oh, man. I don't know. Next game becomes Leeds manager. Next goal wins. Oh, God. It's an old pic, Jack Clark in background. Is it? Is it an old pic? I don't know. I can't see no Jack. Is that Jack Clark? Oh, let me have a look. No, it's not, man. It's not Jack Clark, that, mate. Then again, it could be Calvin on. No, I don't think so. No. I don't know. Maybe it's job done, and he's just enjoying himself. Let's hope so. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully, tomorrow brings 3 points for Leeds United. If it doesn't, Mark, you can put it in big capitals, but having zoomed in, I don't think it is, mate. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow brings us 3 points, more of the same of what we've seen on Wednesday. 3 points for Leeds United, and then it really hots up the next. Leeds United can't rest on their laurels. We need to have a manager in by at least. Is Wednesday even too late, folks? Do we need Monday, Tuesday? I just don't know. I don't know, and it's stressing me out. So I'm going to go watch match at day with a cup of tea and a fag and go to bed. So, yeah, come on, Victor. Come on, Rads. Sort your head out. Please sort it out. Please get us the manager that we need. Let's not get this Schreuder guy, Schrodinger's cat. Let's not get Schrodinger's cat in the door. Let's get Iraola, Bielsa's disciple. Yeah, man. Long live the Bielsa sexuals, as they say. George, you're always negative, bro. Don't worry about it. You're worse than me. Anyway, but then say that we need to forget that Jesse took us to 5th round at FA Cup. Anyways, peace and love to the guards. All in for Iraola, yeah. Make it happen. And I'll see you tomorrow from 1 o'clock, okay? I'll be live at 1 o'clock, and we'll be doing a watch-along for Manchester United versus Leeds United at Ellen Road. See you there. Peace out. Come on, Leeds. Sorry, you shit.